Hello everyone and welcome to another WTN sponsored Insight interview. I'm Joseph Link, Digital Textiles Lead at WTIN. Today I'm speaking to Adele Giannoni, Senior Vice President General Manager at EFI Reggiani, and Nicole Gamba, EFI Reggiani's Product and Marketing Manager, about the company's green credentials, new innovations and of course its recent acquisitions. So to begin with, we'll discuss sustainable manufacturing, particularly the use of pigments in the digital textile printing market. So please both tell me about EFI Reggiani's pigment offering. I understand you are demoing the all-in-one EcoTerra pigment solution. So what can you tell me about this and how will it benefit your customers?
Yes, thanks, Joe, for the introduction. Yeah, we are very pleased to keep update about our progress of innovation in green. So all our innovation from some years is all in the direction of sustainability in textile printing mainly. And we would like to summarize where we are now. So it is an evolution. We started with our pigment with the GEA and the Terra, so the solution with the pigment without the binder and with binder based on the request of our customer. And more recently, with the exhibition at FESPA and ITM in Turkey, we presented our EcoTerra. That is an additional evolution in the direction of short processes, so sustainable production, as you said, Joe, with less usage of water, less usage of energy and waste. The EcoTerra is a part of our lineup of pigments. So we are in the market, probably the one with the largest lineup of pigment solution. And with EcoTerra, we previewed it at our exhibition at FESPA and ITM, and we informed that we would start actually later in September. But we are very pleased to say that we can start with the demonstration with the customer since now on our first model on the EcoTerra, to complete then on the whole lineup of our pigment solution. So to offer to our customer different level of productivity with the pigment.
For those who maybe were not at FESPA or at ITM, EcoTerra that we previewed in both exhibitions is really an all-in-one solution for pigment printing. So has been conceived really to address the need of companies that have no ancillary equipment for pre and post treatment. And so to basically print the entire printing process inside the printer itself. EcoTerra solution is a patent pending solution, and it is enabled by some key features. A new peculiar ink, EcoTerra, that is enabling to avoid pretreatment, a special inline finishing unit to apply finishing chemistry directly inside the printer. And finally, we can polymerize, fix the pigment in line in our special polymerization dryer on board to the printer. So we are bringing the entire pigment printing process inside the printer itself. This, however, with great advantage in terms of fastness, both dry and wet rubbing fastness, light fastness, and also enhancing the end feel and bringing it to the highest level for pigment in the industry. This is possible. And also, what is important about pigment is that normally it is considered an ink delivering pale colors. Thanks to the internal ink development, we were able to deliver brilliant colors and sharpness on details as well. This is made possible thanks to a set of ink, a set of colors that includes, besides cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, also green, red, and blue. So for a wider color gamut, also in pigment, being able to deliver brilliant result, soft end feel, as well as a more sustainable process.
So I know that when pigments first broke into the roll-to-roll market, there were concerns around sort of fastness properties and the color gamut, which you've touched upon. So yes, there's been a lot of developments around these issues, but Are print service providers still concerned? Is there still a way to go to assure print service providers that pigments are now at a standard that can rival other ink chemistries?
Well, actually, we are satisfied about the level of performance for Ecoterra with this all-in-one solution. So I think that we reached a quite attractive performance level. And this is why we are inviting the customer to come and have their and see. Customer can bring their fabrics if they want, or we can show which are the level of results that we can achieve. So actually, we are quite enthusiastic about the results of this all-in-one solution, everything in the printing machine.
And what is always important to mention, in my opinion, is that pigment, besides reaching color results that is always crucial, is making the printing process in digital definitely more sustainable. So for customers that are really looking for faster turnaround time, serving online businesses, web to print businesses, on natural fibers, on blends, and that really need to improve their sustainability impact. Pigment is really the key in order to transition through this sustainable evolution.
Yeah, you are right, Joe. At the beginning, pigment was perceived like to have a compromise. But I think that with our solution now, you have not to compromise. Really, you can enjoy the benefit of the pigment, but not have a compromise on the printing performance and results.
And I don't know if it's to do with all of the research and development that's gone into pigments, or maybe you'll be able to touch upon this, but I understand that the initial cost of a pigment ink is higher than a reactive, for example, but I know there's different ways of looking at this, whereby in the long term, because you don't need the pre-treatments for pigments, for example, that you actually save money in the long run by investing in pigments. So I was just wondering what your thoughts are on this, and if a print service provider comes to you and says, look, I'm not prepared to invest this amount in a pigment technology, what would you say to them?
Yes, usually we are supporting our customer in analyzing the total cost of ownership of an investment and then an equipment. In this case, when we're talking about the pigment, we have only one solution. So you have really from A to Z what you need, and you don't need to buy pre-treatment or post-treatment equipment. So actually, you save a lot of money with this all-in solution, and it's quite agile and flexible. On top of this, also in terms of running business with the usage of less water, you have benefit because you don't have to pay all the big amount of expenses in treating water, for example, or also you have less usage of energy because you don't need to have the energy to run other equipment that are coming before and after the printing process. So actually also on the running cost, the solution is far more convenient. It's more convenient as a one-off investment at the beginning because you need only to buy our solution and not before and after. And it's also more cost-effective in running the solution since you are using less water, so less cost of retreated water and less energy. So I think that if you look at the whole solution, it's very clear that it's very competitive, not only for the environment, but also from the investment point of view.
And I would like to add a point that has been brought up by some customers during the exhibitions. With rising cost of energy these days that are huge, that are very important when utilizing pre and post-treatment equipment, the possibility to reduce consumption to basically one piece of equipment instead of more than one is also perceived as a significant benefit, especially these days.
I can elaborate on what Nicole just said. Actually, the sustainability is becoming business because the customer of our customer, the brands, are asking to the print provider to have a sustainable profile. And for those customers that are using more sustainable processes, they can gain more business. So it is amazing what is happening in the market, because the sustainability is not any longer a fashion or a way to say, but is bringing also more business.
Of course. Well, when I've been to events this year, particularly at FESPA a couple of months ago, there was a lot of talk around pigments. Everybody's very positive about the growth of pigment solutions. I assume you are the same with that, but I was just wondering, in terms of a percentage, what is pigment technology now worth to EFI Reggiani, both with your inks and also your printers as well?
Well, it is still a minor part, or a lower part. I think also because it is implies in the type of customer. So the bigger print house are still using reactive, and therefore, if you look at our quantity of revenue, obviously the major part is on the reactive. But the pigment is taking traction, so we are doubling our revenue and number of printers. Now we are present in more than 20 countries. So it means that it's really taking traction and it is developing. So we are quite positive on the growth that we are going to have in the next quarters.
So all of your investment in pigment technology now is very much planning ahead, planning for the future.
Yeah, we are investing in all sustainable solutions, not only on pigment, and certainly more is coming in the next quarter about this. So our commitment is versus to provide to our customer the best solution for sustainability. So we are looking at how to improve the usage, to reduce the usage of energy, of water, all this aspect, not only related to pigment, but certainly we have done a big focus on pigment, and now we have a full lineup and different solution on pigment that can answer to different needs and requirements.
That's really interesting. I know we've got quite a bit to get through, so just moving on now slightly from pigments. I do want to talk to you about Hyper, which is the most productive of your multipass printers, which I believe was only launched last year, so it's a new solution. I understand well, it's evolving. I believe that it's now compatible with more inks, so users can print more applications with the printer. Is that correct? And I was just wondering what inks are now becoming compatible with the machine.
Yes, Joe, you are very updated. So we are really satisfied about the good reaction of the market on the Hyper. We now have sold in several countries, something like more than 10 countries. But what is even more interesting is that the customer are asking us for repeated order. So that is really telling us how the customer are satisfied and come back again. We have expanded the ink classes approved on the Hyper, and now we have almost all ink classes approved. So we have the reactive as of the beginning, we have the sublimatic, we have the disperse, and we have the pigment. So we can really address several applications with the Hyper, so to offer the possibility to the customer to enjoy the highest level of productivity in the scan technology with an incredible and amazing quality. And in fact, we are saying that is the fastest quality ever with the Hyper that you can have.
I don't believe you're the only OEM to do this, but there seems to have been a bit of a trend where OEMs are now releasing more productive multipass printers. So I was just wondering if this is having some sort of bearing on investment in single pass solutions, because I know the print heads are the most costly part of the printer. So the fact that there are fewer print heads in a multipass printer makes it more affordable. Do you find that people are now investing in these really highly productive multipass printers as opposed to single pass?
Well, yes, we are talking about two different productivity levels with the Bolt and the Hyper. The Bolt is the fastest single pass in the world and is printing in 90 meters, up to 90 meters per minute. With the Hyper, we are talking about scan technology, so high productivity, but with a different type of productivity and also quality performance related to the fact that with a single pass, you have only one pass. And also if the Bolt is offering a high flexibility in terms of type of design with fine details and full color, but certainly it is a technology that is a single pass technology. So we are talking about two different levels of productivity between the Hyper and the Bolt, and we can offer both. It really depends by what the customer is looking for.
Yes, I think that Adele pointed out something that is truly crucial. We offer, of course, a wide portfolio of solutions, but it is in the end customer productivity and customer production that is guiding the decision. We are supporting any customer with total cost of ownership, ROI models, just to really understand and be able to propose the best technology for their printing environment and their production need. In general, however, I will tell you, even though we are seeing the rise and so the more and more productive scan printers in the market, at the same time, in 2021 and in 2022 as well, single pass technology in general raised again a lot of curiosity. So we are still seeing a lot of interest in this area. We had a chance to close, for instance, one more single pass deal during ITM. And especially in Turkey, there is a lot of interest over this technology. So it's kind of, in some areas of the world, we're observing a rise in interest into single pass. So all these technologies are now living together, and we are not really seeing one technology or the other being penalized. So it's really, there is space for both technologies, and this is really about customer processes and printing environment and requirements that is really determining the technology choice in the end.
That's really encouraging, because obviously companies are suffering from global inflation, which has not reached these levels for quite some time. I'm guessing from what you've said, it's not had much bearing on investment in new technologies, which would be a positive.
Definitely, inflation is asking entrepreneurs to be much more careful about their investment. And so what they're looking at is really return on investment, reliability, and also being able to get real production out of the investment. This is really crucial, especially these days. On our side, working continuously on reliability of the solution and ensuring the most competitive total cost of ownership is the arguments we are bringing in these tough times. And so an investment that is, however, an industrial investment, significant, but that is made to last. This is something that is really part of Reggiani Products DNA in general.
And I guess the demand for key applications like fashion, is that still high after the pandemic? I know there was a big slump during the pandemic for obvious reasons, but since then, as economies have reopened, is the demand for fashion still being maintained this year despite all the economic troubles?
Yes, I mean, we have not had any comment, any negative comment in particular. I think that the challenge of the customer that we are seeing is the one that we are saying. So the high level of energy. So the costs are increasing, and very likely the margin are squeezing. But in terms of market, I think that during the COVID period, there was more an interest on home decor, investing in the home and having less social lives, and therefore less interest for the garment and the apparel. I think now we are back to a more equilibrium between the home decor side and the garment side.
And an interesting feedback we got from brands is about inventory. So all the companies, fashion brand that weren't able to go through the digital transition before the pandemics now are looking even closer to investing into digital printing solution for the flexibility and the possibility to really print on demand based on what customers, what people are choosing in the shops. And this is really crucial and would be an important trigger for a further development in digital.
That's really interesting. Aside from all of the technology, which obviously there's been plenty of new solutions over the last 18 months from EFI Reggiani, there's also been big news in terms of acquisitions. So between FESPA and ITM, I think it was, you announced the acquisition of Inedit, the renowned WIP software developer. Could you explain how this deal came about and how it will also benefit both Reggiani and Inedit themselves?
Yes, we are very excited to have Inedit team together with us now. It is really becoming from the strategy to improve our end-to-end solution. So also having in our portfolio a strong solution on the software, providing a complete workflow. Inedit is in the textile market the leader offering the software solution for really an end-to-end workflow. So this is a marriage between Inedit and EFI Reggiani in order to be able to offer to our customer the best solution in the market.
And how will existing and future customers benefit from the acquisition?
Yeah, so regarding existing customer of Inedit that are not EFI Reggiani one, we will continue to honor the business relationship. In terms of EFI Reggiani customer, there is a big benefit in having Inedit as part of the family. We have further enhance our product development roadmap in order to be able to incorporate in the next quarter developments on the end-to-end solution applied to our printers and to our processes. For example, we were talking about a business online. Certainly, with this acquisition, there will be more offer, more integration, and therefore it is very clear which can be the advantages. But also for the big print house, we can offer structured opportunities for color management, for improving the performance of the printers together with our ink, together with the workflow solution. So it's an all-in-one offer that certainly expand the possibility that the customer can have in having our printers.
I know when I visited your booth at FESPA, you demoed the production query software. Could you explain for to our viewers how that works and how it's improving your solutions and the workflow for customers?
Absolutely, and thanks for the question, Joe. We are really proud of achieving our EFI Reggiani query result. Query is a Windows-based application that is really enabling to gather and provide an easy-to-read report of all the factory, all the Reggiani printers inside the factory. That means we are able to elaborate and analyze for our customer their production data, choosing to analyze just single printers, but also the entire EFA Reggiani install base in a facility or in multiple facilities owned by the customer, in order to help them identify the results, areas of improvement in a measurable way, in order to be able to take action for increased efficiency and work on, for instance, shift organization, understand best performances based on the different time of the day, understanding how they are printing designs, so how the production is scattered, for instance, among different printing modes. So the idea is really to provide a tool to read through numbers, through data, their business, and from there to start for corrective actions or improvement actions in order to maximize their efficiency and effectiveness.
I assume in investing in a product like this would enable a print service provider just to become more competitive against his or their rivals.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you have a chance to measure, you have a chance to set new targets and improve. So we hope this tool will help our customers in their development and growth journey.
And so, looking into the future, what plans do you have in terms of new solutions in addition to production query following the acquisition of Enedit? I assume you'll be working on new products together?
Yes, exactly. So we have integrated the product development roadmap of Enedit with the product development roadmap of EFA Reggiani. So our journey for an innovation in green, as I said at the beginning, is continuing, and we will be offering a unique solution. I mean, all our new equipment with our ink will be integrated and enhanced with the solution of Enedit in terms of workflow, in terms of packages that can improve the customer to have a better performance, a better calibration of colors, etc.
Do you have a timeline on this, or is it too early to say?
Our product development roadmap is really always in action. So you see that we are keeping delivering to the market our novelties. Actually, we are not waiting necessarily one exhibition or whatsoever, because when we have a solution, we like to deliver to the market and give the possibility to our customer to enjoy it. So it is an ongoing process.
I will likely be at ITMA 2023. I think by then there may be some exciting developments for you to showcase at your booth.
Certainly, yes, definitely. And as I said, the big drive of our development is sustainability and productivity. This is really what is about. EFA Reggiani machines are known to be very reliable, very strong, and productive. And we needed to make sure that these solutions are also green to the environment.